Welcome to Duchess Tarot. Thank you for clicking on the video and visiting my channel. If any parts of the message resonates, please feel free to like, comment, as well as subscribe. So this is going to be a kaleidoscope reading. I wanted to get one out before the weekend. Hope all is well. Hope everybody is planning to have a nice, safe holiday. And let's get started. Let us see. What do I want to start the reading off with? I don't know, y'all. I have so many yummy cards. It's just, I don't know which ones to choose. But we're going to start off. I guess we'll start off with picture cards. Let's see what's up with that. See what we have going on for the collective. I didn't meditate or anything. I'm trying to think. Firestorm, fire breeze. McLovin. What's that what's his name? You're such a, I don't own the rights to the song, but it's a song that he did with Kanye. What's his name? Little Dirk or something like, I forget what the boy's name is, but anyway, you could be saying that to somebody. So somebody could be catching their partner. So this is a female that's getting caught. Yeah. All right, we're gonna say that. Let's see. Okay. So there could be, I don't know, there could be somebody out here who has been engaging in extra work, curricular activities after work. Also, somebody is getting abused by their significant other. So this could be a situation, ladies out here. And just when I said that, I'm going to need to move away from this fireplace because it's kind of hot. Okay, so there, you could be a professional woman. You could be in a professional setting. You could work around a lot of men. You know, this could be an office setting. This could be a store. This could just be anything. Like you at your job, you are probably, you know, the only female, or maybe if there are other females there, there's not many, so you could work in a male-dominated field, or, you know, the staff is predominantly male, and, you know, it could be you and another female there, but if so, you are probably the most attractive female at the workplace. Okay, the next card, so this is, so you have a professional job. So I'm speaking to a woman out here, or I'm speaking about a woman. She could be a, blue collar worker, but she could work in corporate America. She can work in an office setting, a corporate setting. But she is one of few women in that job, or, you know, within that company, in that friend circle, in that group. You know, it is whatever it is, it's male dominated. This could even be a woman who's in the life, and, you know, but whatever it is, you are one of few. What I'm also getting with this is there's a woman out here who could be getting abused, severely abused, and that could be because there is somebody who is in the professional sector. There is somebody who, you know, works in corporate America, and what it could be is that, you know, you could have a partner, you could be dating somebody, and they're more of a blue collar worker. They work with their hands. You know, this is a tradesman, a skillsman. Definitely somebody who does not work in the professional setting. That's not the right word. Somebody who does not work in a corporate setting. This is somebody, you know, who would be like your construction worker, you know, a light technician, you know, HVAC, you know, somebody who works a lot, you know, who works more with their hands. There could be a man out there or a couple who, you know, domestic violence is a thing in this relationship and or household, because I'm getting a male is jealous of his woman. And well, I am getting that there is a male who's jealous of his woman. So, for example, this woman, she could have a college degree, she could have, have attained higher education, while, this is somebody who could have gone to trade school. And I mean, I'm not saying it like there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to paint the picture. And because, she works in a professional setting, she could possibly make more than this gentleman. Right, right. I mean, she could actually make more than the gentleman. So that is another factor in the relationship, the problems that, are being had in the relationship, because, she makes more possibly than he does. She works around, men who have more possibly materially than this gentleman does, because, they make more. This is corporate. Like, I don't know. What I'm trying to say is there could be a gentleman out here who is very insecure, very jealous of his partner. Jealous of his partner because she can make more money. Jealous of his partner because she works, around a lot of men. This is somebody who could feel insecure. He could feel less than. He could feel, not good enough, but he would never admit that. So, basically those feelings come out as anger or as abusive words. Just because you went to college and everything, you think you better than everybody, or you think you know more than me, and so there's a couple out here where the woman is always having to reassure the man that she sees him as the equal, or this is giving Rain on Me, that video with Ashanti and Lorenz Tate, how she was a star, and basically, because, she was making money and she was in the spotlight and he couldn't handle it. He was insecure, or he felt, inadequate, and, whatever. It basically that he communicated those feelings through violence and through abuse. Through disrespect. And I'm getting that this could possibly be a situation like that, where, there's a woman out here who is being abused because, and this could be verbally, this doesn't necessarily have to be physically, but I am getting in some instances that this is physically, but this is somebody who's getting abused, whether it be verbally, mentally, physically, financially. This could be somebody, this woman who, because she does make more than her, than her significant other, she feels, she feels responsible, or not responsible, but she feels compelled to go overboard in terms of, making him feel like he's still the king of his castle. So this would be, like, say that the money is short, he's short on something. He's not going to ask her for the money, because that'll make him feel less than a man. So she'll just offer it, or, she'll, I'm getting, there's a woman out there who will kind of like pay some bills without her person knowing it, or pay on some bills. So that way, the bills are paid up, because she knows that he doesn't have the money to do it. And she doesn't want him to feel, less than or not like a man, because he can't take care of, the household. Also, there's a woman out there that does that because she knows that if he can't pay the bills, then he's going to come home and he's going to take that out, because he doesn't feel like a man, which he should. I mean, that's right. He shouldn't feel like a man. If you can't take care of your household, brother, sorry. But he doesn't feel like a man. So instead of, saying, hey, I feel whatever, I have these feelings, he takes it out and he beats his woman, or he calls her out of her name, or humiliates her. I'm seeing somebody like smash food in somebody's face, pour stuff on them. Like, there's somebody who's very, Disrespectful. These two people are unevenly yoked, as my mom would say. They're from two different worlds, two different value systems. Even if this is somebody, you know, where they grew up in the same neighborhood, or they grew up together, they were high school sweethearts, their lives have taken different paths because of their, you know, she's working in an area that takes her possibly, you know, she could travel, but she meets different people. You know, she's a boss at her job. You know, this could be a woman that's a supervisor, a manager. You know, you see her with these other men. So somebody, she could be a director. She's very high powered. And so, you know, she's around other high powered people. Whereas this is, like I said, a blue collar worker. You know, the industries are different. And so, you know, he feels like he cannot compete with the men that she's around. I mean, you know, she's around men who wears Brooks Brothers suits, or, you know, tailor-made, you know, suits and very expensive accessories and things like that. And he's a man who has grease in his cups. I mean, he's a hard-working man, and there's nothing wrong with that. But in his mind, you know, because he is not, you know, in a three-piece suit, then somehow he feels like this woman looks at him as though he is not good enough. I am hearing for one or two that is the case. She does look at you like that. There is a woman out here, flip it around. There's a woman out here that emasculates her man because he does not make as much as her, or he does not come from the same background. So it's like, you know, I taught you these things and I shined you up, and you would have never had these things if it hadn't have been for me, because you didn't know anything about these things, and you should be grateful that you even have me, because you'll never find another person or another, you know, woman that will, you know, take the time and date somebody like you. I mean, you didn't even da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So this could be a situation where there's a rich girl who basically, you know, caught herself slumming it, and she married somebody from the quote-unquote wrong side of the tracks, and she takes every opportunity to make him, you know, to let him know that is it. She's a boss in the bedroom, the boardroom. She runs the household. All right, but go back to the original energy that I was picking up on. There is a woman. Airlines could be significant. There could be somebody in aeronautical engineering. Somebody makes bank. Somebody makes bank. Somebody makes bank. There is somebody who works for the company, you know, corporate, and then there's somebody who is an employee, you know, of the company. Definitely unevenly yoked. What ends up happening as a result is there's abuse in the household. There's abuse in this relationship, period. Somebody gets abused. And somebody humiliates somebody. So this might not be, you know, like, you know, somebody does get hit, but maybe not punched around, but they get, you know, humiliated. Somebody gets stuffed in the closet, locked in the closet. This is somebody who basically, because he does not feel, what is the word? You know, because he does not feel equal or, you know, adequate. That's the only word I can think of. Or, you know, adequate. He can't compete with the men that she's around every day, and he knows this. So basically, you know, he's scared of losing this woman, actually. But instead of saying, hey, you know, I feel some type of way, you're around men that make $300,000-$400,000 a year. You know, I'm just throwing that number out there. And, you know, I make good money. I'm, you know, my $25 an hour and everything, but I can't compete with that. You know, I'm scared that you're going to leave me. So instead of saying that, you know, he figures that, you know, he'll scare her into staying. So this is somebody who has their foot on this woman's neck, you know, proverbially, so that, you know, he's very controlling, very dominating, very, you know, He doesn't give her any breathing room. He doesn't, give her space to hang out. She doesn't really have a social life outside of work. She can't do anything outside of work. He'll let her out to go to work, but then that's it. But once she gets home, she's basically, his captive, his slave. This is a man who will slap his woman in the back of the head. Just like I'm seeing like Ike, how, like Ike would, slap Tina in the back of her head, like, go ahead, get in the house. You know what I'm saying? Type of situation. And you would never know, by this woman, you would never know at work that this is what this woman goes through at home. This woman is very stern on the job. She's very no nonsense. She's very about her business. A lot of people think that, they could call her a bitch. One of the reasons why she, has such a nasty attitude is because of her home life, what she's dealing with at home. Also, there's somebody who is going to lose a position, lose a job, a high profile position and or job because of child abuse and or domestic violence. They're going to go from Brooks Brothers to Carhartt. Also, there is a woman out here who could be finding out that while she's at work, her boyfriend, this could be, I don't know, somebody abuses the baby when the mama's away. Alright, so yeah, that's for one or two of you out here. Also, there's somebody who could be facing children's services right now because somebody leaves the baby alone so they can go to work. And so somebody could be facing a CPS case right now. I did a reading a couple months ago. I think Leo got that CPS. So this could be a Leo child. You could be a Leo. You could be dealing with a Leo, or a Leo. Somebody could be dealing with CPS right now because, somebody got reported for leaving their child at home by themselves. So this could be a situation where, a mom has to go to work or the parent has to go to work and they don't have anybody to watch the baby. And as a single parent, I have been there. They don't have anybody to watch the baby. So they lock the baby in a room, or they put the baby in his playpen, and they keep the baby, and that's where the baby stays until, they can come back, or, something like that, or they have to run to the store. Maybe they're only going to be gone an hour or something like that. Or if they got to go to class, go to school, you know what I mean? There's a mom who could do that so she can go to class, she'll put the baby in the playpen, or lock the baby in his room, or, confine the baby in some way, shape, form, or fashion so they could go out and go to school, go to work, and then, don't really have to worry about the baby getting into anything because the baby can't go anywhere. Somebody could be getting reported for that. Also, Also, somebody's phone is tapped and people have cameras in the house. Or you could be doing this, so there could be, a parent that is concerned that the other parent or the babysitter or sibling or whoever is in charge of watching the child, that a child could be getting mistreated and or abused when they're not there. And somebody could be placing like nanny cams around the house or in the child's room to see what's going on when the parent is actually not there. There could be a father who's doing this as well because he found out that the mother leaves the baby by herself. Perhaps she knows. So, okay, All right, wow, slow down. Somebody's putting cameras in the house. All right. So this could be one parent suspects that the other parent is abusing the child, or a parent suspects that the babysitter is neglecting the child. It has something to do with the child. Somebody is trying to monitor something or see something, possibly, so somebody is sneaking in doing this. So this could be a situation where a parent saw bruises on the child's arm, and he just gave them pause, gave them question. And they could have asked the babysitter, like, well, hey, what happened? And somebody gave them, gave the parent a bullshit answer, or it just didn't sound right. Perhaps it has happened more than once. There's a parent that is putting cameras in the child's room as well. Also, ladies, something about sex trafficking ring, human trafficking ring as well. So somebody's under surveillance for that too. So yeah. All right, let's see what we have here, because I don't want this to be all drawn out. All right, so what is this on High Powered Explosive? Somebody's name could be Dre. West Coast shit, nigga. Shout out to Dre. What was that, the Chronic 2001? So something could be significant about 2001. I was so disappointed in that album. After the original Chronic, Chronic 2001, that was good, but it wasn't like the original Chronic. High powered. Somebody is in a high powered position. And when I said that, the Emperor, somebody is a boss. Somebody is a boss. She's a boss. And she talks to, so this could be a business owner. She owns her own business. Again, if she doesn't own her own business and she works for a company, this is somebody who is like a director, a manager, a supervisor. She's higher management. Also with this King of Pentacles, so I pulled the Empress card. This could be a Taurus or a Libra, all right? This could also be somebody who's pregnant. So this is a woman, okay. And then we have the King of Pentacles. So more Taurus energy as well. If this is not a earth sign gentleman, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, this could be somebody of a light complexion or Caucasian. Or this is somebody definitely who has money. They could have possibly owned their own business as well. So I'm getting, before somebody got pregnant or before somebody married somebody or got with someone, they were their own boss. They had a great job. They were making great money. This woman, she has big ass diamond studs in her ears. Somebody was making money. And she could have possibly have got married and that, and as a result got pregnant. This could have just happened. Somebody could have recently gotten married with like the past year or so, and that could possibly be because somebody ended up getting pregnant. But not just that, even if this is not a pregnancy, this woman, this lady boss, she basically could hold her own with any man in the room because she had her own. This is somebody who was used to talking and dealing with high-powered people in high-powered situations. So she was a boss bitch. She was a baddie. Baddies. Somebody's name could be Natalie. Shout out to Natalie Nunn. Okay. What fell on the floor was the Emperor. And then the Knight of Swords. Okay. You could be dealing with an Aries. All right. This could be your boss as well. If this is not a supervisor, this could be, so say, you are a director in one department, this could be a director, so this is like a lateral, somebody is your equal laterally. Equal, that, no pun intended, that's crazy, it came out like that. Both people make this, well, women make less than men, that's crazy still, but meaning, she's a director, he's a director. All right. Also, going back to somebody ended up getting married. When somebody met somebody and they got married, this man possibly, in a passive aggressive way, she basically gave up her life for this relationship. Is what ended up happening. Also, this Aries, this could be somebody or if this is a boss or somebody's husband, this could be an air sign gentleman as well. Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. Also, somebody was working together on a project or working together to stop somebody, and this too could be coming out not to stop somebody, but somebody was working with someone else or dealing with someone else, and that could be coming out also. I did say that somebody is pregnant. The truth about a pregnancy could be coming out, so perhaps somebody was sleeping with somebody that they were working with and ended up getting pregnant. Somebody ended up getting pregnant. Somebody ended up becoming a single mother as well. What came out? The Judgment card and then the Ten of Swords. Also, this could be a situation right now where there is a woman who is very career driven, and right now she could be with child and she could be contemplating whether or not she wants to keep it. Somebody went out here and had an affair with somebody that they work with. Somebody had an affair with a married man. Somebody also got pregnant by a married man. Somebody got pregnant by somebody and they're about to find out that the person that they got pregnant by that they got pregnant by is married. Hell, like I said, the woman is married and she could have gotten pregnant by her lover. Hello. Hello. Somebody's name could be Ron. The Isley brothers could be significant. Hello again. Somebody loves the Isley brothers. Hey, 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 hey. Don't say goodbye. I can't sing it, but I'm hearing that song. Alright, we have the Ten of Wands and the Ace of Wands. Oh. Okay. All right. What I have here is there is a woman who possibly could be pregnant. She's trying to figure out who the baby... First of all, somebody's out here trying to figure out who the baby daddy is before they tell the other person. All right? Before they tell their person whether or not they're pregnant. Second of all, somebody is pregnant and they're debating on whether or not they want to keep it because they don't know whether or not they want to sacrifice their life, their career, their money to bring a child in the world. All right? there's a woman out there also who's contemplating whether or not, she should keep it because she knows the person that she got pregnant by really can't do anything to help her take care of the baby because perhaps she makes more than this person. So she's trying to figure out, like, how would she be able to do this, by herself in terms of, how am I going to work and, get here and there and take care of the baby. And, for those of you having those thoughts out there, trust me, sweetheart, you can do it. A million before you have done it, and a million more will do it after you. That's just what we do. You have Queen of Cups here, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, female. This could be somebody's wife as well. Somebody also, okay, I did say, we're going to go back to the very beginning message where I said that there was a woman out here who has a very jealous and possessive spouse. Their spouse is jealous and possessive. They feel insecure, inadequate, less than because, their wife basically or their girl works around, men of I'm not going to say a better caliber, but a different caliber for real. And so, somebody is also watching somebody at work. Somebody goes to somebody's job. Somebody follows somebody and goes to their job to see if they're at work. Also, if you are a single mom out here, you could find out that you don't have child care because so perhaps you had to work and say, your husband or your baby's father or whomever wasn't working at the time, and so you didn't really have to worry about child care because they could just stay at home with dad or stay at home with whomever while you went to work. This person could be getting a job. And so they may not, you could be getting the news that you're not going to have child care. Somebody is not going to be able to watch the baby because you're going to be gone. They're going to be at work. This could also be a situation where there's a woman wanting to go back to work now. And so now she's trying to find child care, somebody else is about to put their child's father on child support because somebody needs help. Somebody needs money for daycare and things like that. And perhaps the father is just not chipping in. Also, okay. There's a child trafficking ring, meaning kids are stolen. I'm not getting, this is not like a sex trafficking ring. This is a child stealing ring. So say, a couple in another country is trying to adopt a child, but the waiting list is very long. There could be like a black market sting as well. I did say that somebody was trafficking somebody, so there could be like a black market sting where kids are being sold on a black market and somebody could be under investigation. Somebody is looking at flight manifest. This is the FAA. Somebody takes very frequent trips overseas, or they seem to take very frequent trips to the same destination, always carrying cargo. There's something very suspicious about, the cargo or the trips that this person is taking. Air traffic control, I'm hearing as well. FAA for sure. But somebody is examining flight manifest, and it could come out that there's been a child trafficking ring where they steal kids from one country and then sell them to parents in another country. 4 people could be involved, 3 men and 1 woman. Somebody has a private jet or a small aircraft. Somebody was making money as well. Also, it could come to light that there are baby making farms for that very end, where girls are abducted, held hostage, held captive, right? And either by artificial insemination or by artificial insemination. So this could be a situation where, now with the whole genetics thing, you can pretty much, build your own baby. And so, women are held captive, taken. So these are like young, strong girls. Perhaps they've given birth before, and they could be, taken. Some of them could even be paid. But basically, that's their job, is to make babies. Some of them are artificially inseminated. In some other instances, some of these young girls are just plain old-fashioned raped. Essayed. I forget, everybody likes their polite, whatever, politically correct sayings for some horrendous stuff. But, these women could be taken and then constantly essayed and impregnated, held captive until they have babies. And then once they finish healing, they get, they impregnate them again and they have more babies. There's a baby making farm out here. What is this? Empress, Two of Wands, King of Pentacles. For my high-powered woman. Oh, the Sun card, and then the Ace of Swords. Temperance, the Devil, Tower, the Emperor, Six of Cups. Also, there's a Sagittarius who basically found out who the father of their son is, or somebody has found out about the paternity of a son. This could be either a Sagittarius child or a Capricorn child. Somebody is madder than a motherfucker, okay? Also, going back to, it could come out again that a father has been abusing a child. But this happened in the... that could also be a thing. 61, somebody could be 61, G61. Somebody also could have been in the military as well. 3 of Cups, 2 of Swords, Emperor. Alright, so this Emperor, so this is the second time the Emperor card has come out. So you most definitely could be dealing with an Aries. First of all, this Aries was indulging in a third-party situation, and that could be the reason why somebody split up. Either you could be this Aries, or you could be dealing with the Aries, and number 4 could be significant as well. There was somebody who thought that they were larger than life because somebody, was making money. They believed their shit couldn't stink. Also, somebody was having an affair. Possibly with one of their employees, or you could have been the employee and you were having having an affair with your boss. All right. Also, somebody could be divorcing their husband as well because they found out that their partner is having a third-party affair. Somebody was sleeping with somebody's sister, or if this isn't a sister, she was like a sister. So somebody slept with, could have slept with like your friend or something like that. Somebody was having an affair behind somebody's back too. Also, somebody could have gotten someone pregnant, and before they say, so your person could have gotten somebody pregnant. So if you're married, your husband could have gotten somebody pregnant, and they're waiting to find out whether or not this baby is theirs before they come and tell you. Also, there's somebody out here who could have had a baby on the side and you never even knew about it, but now for whatever the reason, they may need to take this baby from the parent because the parent can't take the child, can't take good care of the child, and so now they might have to come to you and let you know, like, but this is what happened. Somebody is getting ready to get the tea, or somebody is getting ready to find out that their person has had a whole side family, and for whatever the reason now they're going to have to make their person, their wife, aware of, or their person aware of what they have been doing in the shadows. If you are dealing with an Aries, this person is either you could be the Aries or the person that you're dealing with could be an Aries, but Aries is very significant in this reading. But if that is you, or you're dealing with an Aries, or however, or this could be you, somebody is quite jealous. First of all, somebody was having an affair, all right? And that could be the reason why they wanted to end things with you, because they did not want you to find out that they were having an affair, or they're ending things with you because basically somebody could have gotten their side piece pregnant and they don't want you to know this. And so, before you find this out, they split up with you, and that information could be coming out. Somebody wears a lot of red. Somebody could be 35 years old as well. I like these cards. I like these cards. Alright, what is this? Emperor, Knight of Swords. So somebody's getting the truth about the Emperor, about an Emperor. So this would be about a boss, about a husband, about an Aries. Somebody was, also, there was an emperor out here who was working with a group of people, so it was 3 men and 2 women, plotting and scheming, looking through something, examining something, investigating something. We have 5 of Cups, and then we have the 10 of Swords, and it kind of came out on the side. This emperor was dealing with a little young girl, where, there could be a young girl that's an Aries, Knight of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles. Whoever this person was, she was fair complected, or this was an earth sign. Also, there's somebody's little side piece is getting ready to call, but I did say that the side piece was piping up. Somebody's side piece is calling somebody's wife to let them know about this here baby. Somebody's heart is getting ready to be broken. Also, somebody could be going to the doctor for heart issues. Somebody may need a bypass. So somebody could be going into the hospital for bypass surgery as well, with this 3 of Swords. I'm sorry, not the Ace of Wands, the 3 of Wands. You'll find out that somebody got somebody pregnant, and basically they've been planning for this baby. Somebody did not want to say anything until they found out whether or not this child was theirs. Somebody went in for an ultrasound as well. Somebody wanted to wait for the ultrasound to come back to find out exactly how far along this person was. A CAT scan or MRI could also be significant too. Somebody is whole. I did say somebody had a baby, was a baby farm. Look at this. What I just say? Women held captive. Look at this card. There's a baby making farm out here. There are young girls being taken and held captive just so they can have babies. And when they're done with these girls, they get rid of them. They unalive them. A mass grave could be uncovered of young girls. Perhaps these girls were abducted from the beach because these girls seem like they're in swimsuits and shorts and everything that are being held in these containers. So somewhere there are girls being taken, held in containers against their will. They are being forced to have sex, get pregnant, all right, and have babies. If that's not that, then there's definitely a trafficking ring that is getting ready to be uncovered. Somebody is under secret indictment. Somebody is under super secret surveillance. Somebody could have possibly have died from from some type of heart issues. I'm hearing somebody's heart exploded from all the drugs. So this could be a situation where, okay. How the police even stumbled upon this, first of all, there was already an investigation into missing women, all right? But then the police or the FBI, I'm hearing the feds are in on this, started putting pieces together because I'm hearing a young woman checked into the hospital or was in the hospital for some type of heart issues. Her heart exploded from, some type of drug. So, okay. What I'm saying is, these women could be, somebody could have been kept sedated. And perhaps, they were given too much medicine and somebody could have overdosed. There could have been too much medicine given for something and it caused some type of heart issue. Somebody went into cardiac arrest as well. Also, there could have been a baby that was born with severe health issues, heart murmurs and everything because they had drugs and everything. The baby had drugs in his system because the mother had drugs in her system from the people basically drugging her to keep her silent, sedated, and captive. I hope that makes sense. And apparently that's not the first time that a child, an infant perhaps died like that, or a certain drug showed up in a newborn system, or the mother had heart issues or went into cardiac arrest, and when they did an autopsy, there's something about this has happened before. This has happened before. Either the mom is having health issues or the child had health issues, and then upon further examination, it could come to light that there was a common drug and or element within in both the parent system and the child system. Somebody was constantly being given drugs, constantly being shot up with something. Somebody picks up runaways. California is significant. California is significant. Young girls go to California with hopes of being a star or something like that, and then they get suckered into a con, perhaps a job or, school. There is someone who lures these women in pretending to be a school or pretending to offer some type of educational course or some type of study abroad opportunity or something like that, if that makes sense. So they'll send for these girls overseas, or they'll tell there'll be like an opportunity that'll be like, perhaps in a newspaper or something like that. Here, come here and you can work and own your own business, or you come and you complete this program and we'll give you money to start your own business. And so, you could have girls who hop on a plane and do that, wanting to be their own business person, or, wanting to, be their own, mogul. And it's it's a ruse just to get, girls on the plane. And then once they get the girls, they ship them someplace else. Lock them up, keep them hostage, and they just churn out babies. That was very dark. I don't like it. Also, going back to what I was saying about the woman who is in an abusive relationship. Back when I said that there was a woman who was in an abusive relationship, this woman she could have found out that she was pregnant, and she could be deciding on whether or not she should stay or whether or not she should go. Somebody feels like a captive, so this could be a situation where their person got them pregnant on purpose because they were insecure that, that they were going to leave them. So, somebody was trying to basically keep their woman put. Well, if I keep her pregnant with a whole bunch of babies and everything, but then she can't work or she can't do this and she has to stay at home and she's not going to leave. So somebody thought basically if they kept their person barefoot and pregnant, that they would be together for always. And that is not the case. There's a woman who recognizes exactly what it is that a man is trying to do. And she's basically like, I don't think that she's going to go through with it. Yeah, somebody just wanted to be somebody's friend. So, you're in a relationship and, this woman has dreams of something more, so perhaps you could have gotten involved with this gentleman. And like I said, somebody realizes that they're unevenly yoked. Somebody realizes that they perhaps should have just kept someone as a good time and not try to make a relationship out of it. Somebody just wants to be free. Somebody wants to be the boss, be their own boss, do what they want to do, live their life on their own terms. There's somebody who's not really a relationship person. They have friends or, associates, companions, but they don't really have relationships and all. I mean, this woman, this is what she's trying to be. She's trying to be a beauty queen. She's the queen bee. She's not trying to be locked down. She's not. Also, going back to the third party situation, somebody is going to send somebody's wife ultrasound results. Bam! You could be dealing with a Gemini as well. And then you also have a Taurus that could be in the mix, or this could be a marriage involving a Gemini. But somebody's side piece is going to send their person's wife pictures of an ultrasound to let them know about a baby that's on its way. This could also be a teenage girl that's scared to tell her father and her mom, but I'm getting her father, and that she's pregnant. Somebody possibly daughter did get pregnant, and as a result, they basically keep their child under lock and key now. Or there's a father out there that is so overprotective of his child that he will not let his daughter go anywhere because he's so scared that, something is going to happen, that the evils of the world are going to get to her, or that these young men out here are going to impregnate her and everything. So I'm getting a father whose daughter is coming of age, 16, 17 years old. Somebody is filled out. Somebody, has become a beautiful swan. And so now, they're their child wants to, is at that age where they want to start dating and they want to start going out and having a friend circle, perhaps. And, I'm getting a parent who is just like, oh my gosh, scared to death and would just like to keep their child close to them always, if possible. That's not realistic. Also, going back to the woman who doesn't want to be tied down. There's a woman out here who just does not want to be tied down. She'd rather be friends, friends with benefits rather than be in a relationship. Somebody is career driven. Somebody, is trying to achieve professional success, and they cannot be tied down or weighed down with kids right now. Kids just aren't in the picture for someone. And perhaps, like I said, this woman was dating a man who was, insecure, scared to lose her, so he got her pregnant on purpose. Or trying to pressure her into having a child. There's a woman out here who found out that she's pregnant, and like I said, she's waiting, debating on whether or not she should even say anything. Also, I did say that somebody could have possibly gotten somebody pregnant, possibly somebody that they worked with, and they didn't want you to find this out. Or, they didn't want you to find this out, so perhaps they broke up with you, or you've not heard from this person. They kind of like dropped off the face of the earth. They're trying to figure out, number one, if this baby is theirs before they say anything to you. And then, two, if the baby is theirs, what possibly could they say to you? Because you're not going to be trying to hear that at all. Yeah. Somebody could be 33. Somebody was definitely dealing with somebody younger than them. So this could have been somebody that they worked with. This could have been their manager. Somebody was sleeping with their manager, perhaps. Or it could get out to somebody's wife that their husband was having an affair with a coworker and got that coworker pregnant. And the pregnant woman is getting ready to drop a dime on the man. Yeah, I like these cards. All right, give me one more. All right. Ace of Pentacles. Whoever this young girl is, flip side, there's a young girl who got pregnant by a man and did not know that this man was married. But I did say that the number 73 could be significant, as well as the number 25, not Ace of Pentacles, the 9 of Pentacles. If this is your situation, if you know an Aries or dealing with the Aries, or if you were married, this could be, an authority figure. Somebody basically knows that when you find this out, you are going to clock all the way the fuck out. This is getting ready to be a whole fucking problem. Somebody was just supposed to be working with someone, and it turns out they were sleeping together. Somebody was sleeping with somebody on the job. Somebody's third eye is open. Somebody could have blonde hair. Whoever this blind person was, her third eye was open. There's a woman out here who had possibly blue hair, too. Somebody's name could be Rita or Hayworth. Gilda. The number 20 could be significant. Somebody liked to party. Somebody had 3 different women that they were dealing with. Somebody got their little young piece pregnant. Somebody separated from their husband because their husband was a cheat. Or somebody was having a third party affair with their boss. This this guy right here could actually be that woman's employee or subordinate. Somebody was having an affair with their subordinate, and whoever the subordinate is, he put it the fuck down. He put it down like a nigga who worked with his hands. Versus her husband, you know, or her significant other, who's probably, you know, a company man as well, a suit and tie corporate guy. You know how it is. The bad boys always do it better. And she got herself a bad boy. Eight of Wands. Somebody's also scared that somebody's going to start talking about this, whatever this is. If you are the person who, say you are the wife or you're the girlfriend, or you feel like, you know, this could be resonating with you, oh, best believe whoever this young chick is, she most definitely wants to call you and talk to you. You'll be hearing from her soon. You'll be getting some type of confirmation that this person does exist. So this could be a situation where you have been questioning your partner. You know, perhaps you kind of suspected that they were having an affair, you know, while on the job. You know, you call them, they're supposed to be at work, they're not there. Or, you know, like, you know, you just had your suspicions. You're going to get confirmation. What is this Ten of Swords right here? Somebody works for the government, too. We have Eight of Pentacles and High Priestess. Somebody works for somebody's going to jail, number one. All right, with this card right here. Somebody's going to jail. Somebody, and now this is going to be some shit that you'll probably see like on Newsweek or on the television. Somebody is going to go to jail. This could be somebody who's very high powered, somebody who's very well known, somebody who has an excessive amount of money. This person could be, about to be arrested for here embezzlement. Somebody was paying. Somebody also doesn't have any money, low key. Somebody doesn't have any money. Somebody has been fighting a court case too. This could also be a child support case that you didn't know anything about. So somebody could be going back and forth to child support. Somebody could be taking somebody to child support. Somebody had a baby with somebody. And before they said anything, they wanted to establish the paternity. And perhaps now the paternity has been established and you will find this out. Or somebody expected, you know, that this person would tell you about this baby, and that hasn't happened, nor will it happen. And so this woman is going to take it upon, can you hear the dogs barking? This woman is going to take it upon herself to let you know what's going on as well. All right. Let me see what else do I see, collective. Sorry about that. Somebody definitely doesn't have any money right now. They're having money issues. Like I said, somebody was trying to wait to find out the paternity of a child before they let you know that they possibly had a baby. Somebody could be trying to also leave. Quietly leave. Also, something about time. Somebody hasn't been going to work either. Somebody's an engineer. Somebody hasn't been going to work. Somebody's time cards does not match the hours that they say. So somebody could say that they work like 40 something hours, but their time card or the cameras only show them being there for 32 hours. So somebody could be getting in trouble for like milking the clock as well. Also, somebody could be going to jail for back child support too. This high priestess card. There's something about this high priestess card, but I can't. Somebody can also have orange hair or red hair. Somebody wears red a lot. That could be somebody's favorite color, just female. That could be her favorite color. She wears red a lot. Let's see. Road Runner, meet me. So somebody could like Road Runner or be watching Road Runner, the old Road Runner. So somebody could be older. Somebody could feel like the Road Runner. Somebody's always, going here and there. There is something about, oh my goodness. There could be an airline crash. Or there was an airline crash. Okay. There was an airline crash upon further examination. Somebody could end up going to jail behind this. Okay. So I'm just going to say this. A couple of months ago, there was a horrible airline crash, right? With a major transport company. And when I saw the footage, the first thing that came to mind was there was something on that plane that the powers that be did not want to come to light. Either it was somebody or something on that plane. I'm getting if there was an airline crash or something pertaining to airlines or air flight or something like that, it could come out that somebody was smuggling people. Or this could be a situation where, say, there was a whistleblower that was scheduled to testify for something. Somebody could have possibly have, put this person on a commercial airline instead of okay. So how can I word this? Say there was a whistleblower and, this person was supposed to go and testify in front of, go testify in court or go testify in front of the government, however it goes down. And, traveling on commercial airlines would just be too risky because, this person's safety could be in jeopardy, quite simply because somebody does not want this person to testify or to share the information that they have, that they know. And so, whoever's in charge of this person's travel decides, hey, let's hide them or let's, hide them on, a airline. It's not a commercial airline, but say like, let's hide them on a freight airline. And we'll, and they can travel that way. So that way, they're not on any airline manifest is what I'm hearing. And, we can get this person in and out of the country without being detected or in and out of wherever without being detected. That's how somebody, was trying to keep something under the radar. Likewise, going back to this whole ring thing that I was talking about, trafficking ring, it could come out that a freight company basically is been under investigation for human trafficking. Okay. So we'll just say it's a freight company, like we'll just call it KidFX. All right. And KFX basically, they do overnight deliveries. They are a freight company. It's a freight company. It could come out that, along with carrying mail and packages and things like this, that is also used as a cover to basically carry humans and traffic humans. So basically transport humans over international borders. So that too could be coming out. And I'm not going to say anything else about that. Somebody definitely wants to talk to you as well. Somebody wants to tell you about this baby. If you are dealing with the Aries, this could be, specific, or, something most definitely has something to do with an Aries. This could also be if you are a female boss, there's a younger woman who possibly would like for you to mentor them and, just give them tips and pointers on, the fast track to professional success is what I'm hearing. Somebody got wind that somebody was planning on leaving them too. So that goes back to that abusive man, whatever. I'm trying to see, is there anything else that I see before I let you all go? That was a pretty decent message. What is this? 4 of Swords. 6 of Pentacles. Somebody also sleeps with somebody for money. Also, that's how somebody keeps money or makes their money. Somebody's a sex worker too. Also, it could come out that somebody has been secret lovers with a Taurus. Or the truth that somebody was married and basically you were just their lover. So perhaps you were dealing with a married man and didn't even know it. And somebody could want to tell you the truth now. Somebody could want to apologize to you as well. A King of Wands you could be dealing with. We have Taurus, Lovers, Knight of Swords, 4 of Pentacles. Somebody wants to tell you the truth about being lovers with a Taurus. This was possibly for money, so somebody was sleeping with somebody for money. Somebody cut this relationship off, cut this person off. Somebody is done with it. This King of Wands. Somebody was trying to get even, perhaps. So this could be a situation, ladies, where you could find out that perhaps a friend slept with your person to get even with you as well. Also, you can find out about a relationship. Cancer was dealing with a Leo out here. And that could be a secret. So if you're dealing with the Cancer, perhaps, and it could come out that a Cancer was the father of a child. Who knows? Also, somebody is living in the house. So you could find out that a Leo is living with a Cancer too. Or Leo comes over to a Cancer's house. They've been secret lovers, super secret lovers. Somebody gets paid to sleep with somebody. So somebody could come over to their house. Interesting. All this information could be about to come out soon. So if somebody broke up with you all of a sudden, or you never got closure on a relationship, I'm hearing all that closure is getting ready to come right now. Somebody left you all of a sudden. It could be because, they got somebody pregnant. They weren't sure if the baby was theirs. They didn't want to say anything until they found out, until they absolutely knew. That time could come now where they know they could have gotten paternity. Somebody could have taken an ultrasound. And so, the timelines, either matched or they didn't. Okay? Somebody was also sleeping with somebody at their job, too. Again, there's a woman out here that was possibly getting abused because she has a very insecure man. He basically just wants to keep his woman under lock and key. Somebody, if they could just lock you away and keep you hidden from the world, they would. Somebody is in jail as well, or somebody is trying to beat a case. And so somebody's money could be going to an attorney. That could be somebody doesn't have any money right now, or they're going through money problems. And number 25 could be significant. Again, somebody doesn't have any money. Somebody could also be going back to school to learn a trade so they can make some more money. All right. With this time clock thing, also somebody could have gotten in trouble, or somebody could have had to. I'm hearing somebody was basically cooking their time sheets, and they had to leave, or they had to quit their job all of a sudden because it came out that somebody was investigating them, and they were looking to press legal charges on them, possibly for theft. Somebody was stealing from their job, or whether it be time, money, supplies, somebody was stealing from their job. Somebody got caught. Somebody possibly had to leave their job as well because, either leave the job before they got arrested. And so as a result, somebody could have got this young girl pregnant, and she ended up, losing her job. And so now somebody had to, take care of her and pay for her. The number 8 is significant as well. I think I said that already. The number 3, 77. Somebody could have been born in 77. Somebody could be 77 years old. The number 20 could be significant too. The number 61. All right, should I do names? I don't think I'm going to do names today. I'll do names next time. Let me see. Do I see anything else? Somebody is getting the truth that somebody was planning on leaving. Somebody was getting left, and somebody was planning on leaving somebody. Somebody planned on leaving somebody because they didn't have any money anymore. So this is a situation where somebody was only with somebody because they did have money. Now that they don't have any money, what's the point? And that's what they're saying. I'm not saying that. That's what they're saying. Like, what's the point? So somebody could be getting wind that they're getting left. So this could be a situation where somebody left you because they met some young little tart, and they were all sprung and pussy whipped about this little girl and everything, and the girl was sticking around because he was caking her. He was taking care of her, giving her money. They was working together. However it goes down, somebody doesn't have any money now to trick off with, to trick on this little girl. And so because they don't have the money to trick on this person anymore, she's out. She like, shit, I don't need no old ass broke man. You old and you broke. I don't need that. And so now somebody could want to come back to you. Somebody was holding a grudge. This could also be a situation where some little young girl is holding a grudge. So this could be where some girl thought that she was going to take your spot. And perhaps, your person let them know in maybe nice or not so nice terms that all you were was a good time. I'm never going to leave my person, or you don't compare to my person. Somebody could also be realizing that as well, that whoever they were cheating on you for actually doesn't compare to you. So somebody could want to come back and just be 100% honest with you and 1,000% honest, just to let you know, hey, somebody doesn't have any money because they were giving it to, some little young chick. And this big baby. Also, if you are a seer, somebody left you because they didn't want you to see that somebody was basically cheating on you, or, they were dealing with you and 2 other people, 2 other females. They didn't want to be around you because you are a seer. And you could definitely see what or they were scared that you would be able to see what was going on. First of all, somebody was married, and somebody was most definitely scared that somebody was going to call their wife or